Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right.
You know these songs, but you probably don't know their stories. Some were inspired by real life, some were built around pure fiction, and one became a massive hit, even though its story was completely made up. These are 10 forgotten 70s hits with stories you never knew.
Hey girl, I met you.
Number 10. The Rapper, the Jaggerz. In 1970, the word rapper meant something completely different. There was no hip-hop industry yet, no rap charts, no superstar MCs, just a pop-rock group from Pennsylvania called the Jaggerz. Their biggest hit was The Rapper. The song was written by band member Donnie Iris, years before he would find success as a solo artist. It had a catchy rhythm, a playful vocal, and a title that sounds strangely modern today. But back then, the rapper simply meant a smooth-talking man, someone who could charm his way through a conversation. The record became a huge success. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1970 and sold more than 1 million copies.
So he starts his rapping, hoping something will happen.
For a brief moment, the Jaggerz were everywhere. Then the 70s moved on, and the word rapper eventually took on an entirely different meaning.
He needs someone to talk to.
Today, the title almost sounds like a prediction, a forgotten 1970 hit using a word that would later transform popular music.
He's got you where he wants you. Call him the rapper. When this whole world gets me down.
Number 9. Playground in My Mind, Clint Holmes. At first, Playground in My Mind sounds like a simple children's song, bright melody, gentle vocals, and a child's voice in the chorus. That little voice belonged to Philip Vance, the 7-year-old son of songwriter and producer Paul Vance. That gave the recording something adults couldn't easily imitate. It sounded innocent, almost like a memory from childhood itself.
I close my eyes and soon I find I'm in a playground in my mind.
The song became a major hit in 1973, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. And there's something fascinating about hearing it today.
And we sing a song all day.
It feels almost detached from time, like opening an old photo album and finding a picture you haven't seen in decades.
My name is Michael, I got a nickel shiny and
Clint Holmes went on to have a long career as a singer and entertainer, but Playground in My Mind remains the song most people remember.
wonders that I find in the playground in my mind.
And that little voice in the chorus is part of what makes it so difficult to forget.
When we get married, we're gonna have a la 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 la. Heat of a summer night in the land of the dollar bill.
Number 8. The Night Chicago Died, Paper Lace. This might be one of the strangest hit songs of the 70s, because it sounds like history, but it isn't really history.
Daddy was a cop on the east side of Chicago.
The Night Chicago Died tells a dramatic story involving Al Capone, Chicago police, and a violent confrontation, gunfire, chaos.
When the town of Chicago died.
A city supposedly caught in the middle of a gangster war. There was only one problem. The story was fictional. The song was written by Mitch Murray and Peter Callender, and the events described don't match the hysteria from buying it. In 1974, the record reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Paper Lace suddenly had one of the biggest songs in America. A great pop song doesn't always need to be historically accurate. It needs to tell a story, create an image, and make you want to hear what happens next. Chicago Died did exactly that. It just happened to rewrite history along the way.
The night Chicago died. Na 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 na. Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight it really was. Glory be.
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky.
Number 7. In the Summertime, Mungo Jerry. Few songs sound more carefree than In the Summertime, and the story behind it is almost as unexpected.
If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel.
Ray Dorset, the leader of Mungo Jerry, was working as a laboratory technician for Timex when the idea arrived.
When the sun goes down, you can make it good to live by.
He has said the song came together incredibly quickly, with the melody appearing on his guitar and the lyrics following soon afterward.
Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy.
The idea was simple. Summer should feel free. No complicated message, just sunshine, cars, friends, and enjoying it was simply a man with a guitar and a day job. Then he wrote one of the most recognizable summer songs of the 70s.
Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. We're always happy, lives we live in, yeah, that's our philosophy.
So I'd like to know where you got the notion.
Number 6. Rock the Boat, The Hughes Corporation. Some hit records are carefully planned. Others almost disappear before anyone notices them. Rock the Boat was nearly one of those records.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over.
The Hughes Corporation had released it on an album, but initially, radio wasn't interested. The record wasn't moving.
Ever since our voyage of love began, your touch has thrilled me like the rush of the wind.
Then something unexpected happened in New York. Dance clubs started playing it. People responded. Word spread. And suddenly, a song radio had ignored was becoming a club sensation.
Said I'd like to know where you got the notion.
The label noticed and pushed the record harder. The result was extraordinary. Rock the Boat reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974.
Oh, I need to have the strength that flows from you.
It became one of the early records associated with the rise of disco, when the genre was still developing outside the mainstream. That's what makes the story so interesting. It didn't begin as an obvious pop phenomenon. It grew from people dancing to it, before the rest of America caught on. For one moment, the record radio had almost overlooked, became one of the biggest songs in America.
So I'd like to know where you got the notion. Rock the boat, rock the boat.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Number 5. Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas. In the early 70s, America was becoming fascinated with martial arts. Kung fu movies were exploding in popularity, and suddenly, that culture was everywhere.
In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
Then came a song that turned the craze into a pop hit, Kung Fu Fighting.
There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown.
Carl Douglas recorded it in 1974, and its instantly recognizable rhythm helped make it an international phenomenon. The record was playful, energetic, and perfectly timed. It didn't sound like traditional soul. It didn't sound like rock. It was something different.
It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their part.
The song became a major international hit, including #1 in the United Kingdom. For Carl Douglas, it became the record everyone remembered.
Everybody was calling
Sometimes a song doesn't just become popular, it becomes attached to an entire cultural moment. For a brief time, Kung Fu was everywhere. On movie screens, on television, and on the radio.
But the Lord with expert timing.
The craze faded, but the song survived. Those opening sounds are enough, and suddenly, 1974 is back. Number 4. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, Looking Glass. There's a famous story about Brandy. According to the legend, the woman in the song was based on a real person, perhaps even someone whose grave could supposedly be found in New Jersey.
And there's a girl in this harbor town, and she works.
It sounds perfect. A romantic song, a mysterious woman, and a secret hidden underneath it. Except, it's not true.
The sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl, what a good wife.
Songwriter Elliot Lurie, lead singer of Looking Glass, created the story himself. There was no real Brandy behind the song, no mysterious woman whose life inspired the lyrics. Just a fictional character, waiting for ships to come into the harbor, while the sailor she loves belongs to the sea.
Brandy wears a braided chain made of finest silver.
Released in 1972, Brandy became a massive hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and the fictional story became so believable that listeners eventually created their own stories around it.
It came on a summer's day, bringing gifts.
That's one of the great things about popular music. A songwriter creates a character, then millions of listeners fill in the blanks. Brandy was never real, but after all these years, she still feels real.
She hears them say, Brandy, you're a fine girl, what a good wife to see.
He was on his way home from Campbelltown. Been 2 weeks gone and he thought he'd stop.
Number 3. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Vicki Lawrence. Imagine being handed a song and immediately knowing it could be a hit. That's what happened to Vicki Lawrence.
Andy Wollo said hello, and he said hi, what's doing was.
The song was written by her then-husband, songwriter Bobby Russell, but Russell apparently didn't think much of it. Lawrence heard the demo and believed the song had something special, so she recorded it.
Said I'm your best friend, and you know that's right, but your young bride ain't home tonight.
And the story inside was anything but cheerful. A man comes home, discovers betrayal, finds his friend murdered, and is executed for a crime he didn't commit.
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't know them myself.
Then comes the twist. The narrator reveals that she was responsible. It's a complete Southern Gothic murder story, compressed into a few minutes of pop music.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
And somehow, it became a number 1 hit. In 1973, Vicki Lawrence reached the top of the Billboard Hot 100. But at the time, she was primarily known from The Carol Burnett Show. She wasn't known as a major recording artist.
Well, Andy got scared and left the bar, walking on home 'cause he didn't live far.
Yet this dark murder ballad became the biggest recording of her career. Sometimes, the most unexpected person gets the perfect song.
See, little sister don't miss when she aims her gun. Oh, don't trust your soul to no backwoods southern lawyer.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right.
Number 2, Stuck in the Middle with You, Stealers Wheel. At first, Stuck in the Middle with You sounds like a cheerful 70s pop song. The rhythm is light, the melody is catchy, and the chorus is unforgettable.
And I'm wondering how I get down the stairs.
But the story behind it is more interesting. Jerry Rafferty and Joe Egan wrote the song partly as a parody of the music industry's social world, poking fun at egos, awkward conversations, and the uncomfortable feeling of being surrounded by people you don't really want to be around.
Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you.
The song became a major hit for Stealers Wheel in 1973, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then, decades later, it acquired an entirely different identity.
Focus to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
In 1992, Quentin Tarantino used it in Reservoir Dogs during one of the movie's most disturbing scenes. Suddenly, a lighthearted 70s song had a completely different cultural meaning.
And your family all come calling, slap you on the back and say,
A song written as satire became associated with one of cinema's most unsettling moments. One song, two completely different memories.
friend.
Number 1. Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jaggerz. And then, there's Seasons in the Sun. It sounds like a 70s pop song, but its story goes back much further.
Together we've climbed hills and trees.
The original was Le Moribond, written by Belgian singer-songwriter Jacques Brel. Later, poet and songwriter Rod McEwen created an English-language adaptation. Eventually, Terry Jaggerz recorded his own version.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
But there's another fascinating chapter. Before Jaggerz released his version, the song had been considered for the Beach Boys. They recorded a version during sessions in 1970, but it wasn't released at the time.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Jaggerz eventually recorded his own interpretation. Released in 1973, it became a massive worldwide hit.
Bye, Papa, please pray for me.
In America, it reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974. And suddenly, a song about saying goodbye, about death, was playing everywhere. That's what makes Seasons in the Sun so fascinating.
Too much wine and too much song, wonder how I got along.
The melody is warm, the arrangement is gentle, but underneath all of it is a farewell.
But the wine and the song, like the seasons have all gone.
A song that began as a dark European chanson, passed through an English adaptation, nearly became a Beach Boys recording, and finally became one of Terry Jaggerz's defining hits.
Goodbye, Michelle, my little one.
Sometimes, a song travels through several lives before it finds the audience that makes it unforgettable.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. All our lives we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
The 70s were full of songs that sounded simple until you learned the story behind them. Some were fictional, some were inspired by real life, and some became famous for reasons nobody could have predicted. That's why these old records are worth hearing again. Which story surprised you the most? Leave your answer below and subscribe to America's Forgotten Hits for more forgotten music from the 1960s and 1970s.